Imagine a night in Paris, the runway gleaming under dazzling golden lights, the audience holding their breath in anticipation. The backstage curtains slowly part, and Bella Hadid steps out. Dressed in a soft white gown that hugs her figure, she is no longer just a model. She becomes a living statue in motion. Every step she takes is like a heartbeat, a symphony of confidence and allure. When Bella lifts her head, her eyes cold yet captivating, silence falls over the room as if time itself has stopped. And yet behind the glittering stage lights lies another reality, one much less perfect. Bella Hadid is a paradox. On the catwalk she exudes strength, but in her private life, she is fragile. The pain of battling chronic Lyme disease, the constant inner struggle with self-image, and the relentless demand to remain flawless have shaped Bella into one of the most intriguing figures the fashion world has ever seen. Her story is not simply about becoming one of the most recognizable models of her generation. It is a journey from a young Palestinian Dutch-American girl to a global icon. Bella's life reflects the duality of beauty and suffering, the inseparable connection between brilliance and darkness. This duality also connects her legacy to the long line of 90s Supermodels women who once embodied unattainable perfection, but whose struggles revealed the dark side of fashion. Bella, too, stands as both a dream and a wound, a mirror of a glamorous industry where light and shadow exist in the same breath. Before she became one of the most sought-after faces in fashion, Bella Hadid was simply a girl caught between two worlds, carrying within her a childhood both privileged and fractured. She was born on the 9th of October, 1996, in Washington, D.C., into a family of contrasts. Her father, Mohammed Hadid, a Palestinian real estate mogul, carried the scars of his refugee childhood and memories of exile. Her mother, Yolanda Hadid, a former Dutch model, embodied the classic European ideal of beauty disciplined, exacting, and always placing physical perfection above all else. From this unlikely union came Bella, a girl whose identity was already layered with contradictions. Her childhood unfolded in luxury. With her father's wealth, she grew up surrounded by affluence. Yet money could not mend the cracks within her family. Her parents' divorce left wounds that no comfort could heal. Bella, along with her sister Gigi and brother Anwar, grew up under the shadow of high expectations. Yolanda, loving but strict, often reminded her daughters that beauty was the key to recognition. For Bella, those words became a double-edged sword, both a motivation and a source of unrelenting pressure. Unlike Gigi, who seemed born to shine with her golden smile, Bella was quiet, introspective, and far less eager to be the center of attention. Friends recalled her as mysterious, someone surrounded by an invisible fog. She rarely spoke, but her presence always invited curiosity. There was a melancholy in her gaze, a kind of poetry that made her stand apart even as a child. The greatest shadow of her youth, however, was Lyme disease. Both Bella, her mother, and her brother Anwar were diagnosed with the debilitating illness. The condition brought unrelenting fatigue, chronic pain, and mood swings. While other children were running outside, Bella often found herself confined to her bed, staring at the ceiling and dreaming of another world. It wasn't only her body that weakened, but also her sense of belonging. Illness isolated her, planting in her heart a seed of loneliness. And yet, in that loneliness, something unique began to bloom. Bella created a private world of beauty. She spent hours sketching, experimenting with clothes, and watching her mother prepare in front of the mirror. Sometimes she would slip into old dresses, stand before her reflection, and imagine a life where fashion could be her language of survival. In these small rituals, Bella discovered a secret energy, an inner resilience hidden beneath fragility. Her childhood was not defined solely by wealth or glamour. It was shaped by invisible wounds, by the feeling of being both inside and outside at the same time. Bella was never the picture of perfection. She was the girl who felt displaced even within her own life. And it was this sense of in-betweenness, of carrying both light and shadow, that would one day become her greatest strength on the runway. Like the legendary 90-second supermodels who defied expectations, Bella grew up with contradictions that foreshadowed her destiny. The girl who lived between privilege and pain would later transform those scars into the aura that made the world stop and look. She was learning, even then, that the dark side of fashion was not something far away, it was already living inside her story. Bella Hadid's turning point did not come with the cliché story of being discovered in a shopping mall. Her entry into modeling was far more complex, colored by hesitation, self-doubt, and inner conflict. As a teenager, Bella dreamed not of fashion but of equestrian glory. She trained tirelessly, imagining herself competing at the Olympic level. Riding gave her freedom, a sense of strength beyond her frailty. But Lyme disease struck hard, forcing her to abandon the dream. The loss devastated her, plunging Bella into crisis. It was in this fragile moment that fashion appeared not as a chosen path, but as an unexpected lifeline. Having a mother who had once been a model meant Bella had early access to the backstage world of fashion, yet despite her striking looks, she lacked the confidence that Gigi radiated effortlessly. She often described herself as the shadow, a pale reflection of her sister's brilliance. While Gigi's face graced magazine covers, Bella spent her days sketching, painting, and nursing the fatigue that her illness imposed. At 16, she agreed to her first photo shoot for a small brand. It was not glamorous, nor was it prestigious, but it was the first time Bella stood before a camera as a model. Awkwardness hung over her movements, but her eyes betrayed something else, an ache, a melancholy that drew the photographer in. That vulnerability became her secret weapon. When Bella decided to pursue modeling seriously, the reactions around her were divided. Yolanda believed in her, insisting that Bella's darker beauty carried an irresistible magnetism. Bella herself, however, doubted constantly. Her skin was imperfect, her body not yet sculpted to industry standards, and she feared she could never compete in such a merciless world. But fate proved otherwise. At a critical casting call in New York, Bella walked into a cramped room filled with tall, radiant girls brimming with arrogance. She felt out of place, walking slowly, her gaze downcast. Yet when the spotlight hit and the photographer asked her to look up, the room fell silent. Her eyes cold, sorrowful, and magnetic, cut through the space like a story waiting to be told. From that moment, Bella began signing contracts, though many dismissed her as merely riding Gigi's coattails. The whispers and skepticism might have broken another young model, but Bella used them as fuel. She resolved to prove that she was not a copy, nor a supporting character. Her opportunity was not luck, but the revelation of her difference. In an industry saturated with smiles and perfection, Bella brought vulnerability, a haunting presence. Her first steps into modeling were shaky, but they carried the weight of destiny. Like the era of 90-second supermodels, where each woman entered the industry with her own myth, Bella's debut carried narrative power. And like them, she too would discover that fame is never just about beauty. It is about surviving the dark side of fashion, where self-doubt and judgment are as relentless as the flashing lights. When Bella Hadid officially stepped into the fashion world, few could have predicted how quickly she would rise to the top. From small casting calls in New York, she climbed step by step until her presence dominated the runways of Paris, Milan, and beyond. Her first major turning point came in 2015 when she signed with IMG Models, the powerhouse agency behind many of fashion's greatest icons. Soon after, she debuted at New York Fashion Week, instantly catching attention for a look that seemed to resist convention. If Gigi was radiant and golden, Bella was enigmatic and shadowed. Designers saw something rare: eyes that carried sadness, features carved with intensity, and a walk that balanced strength with fragility. By 2016, Bella's career exploded. She walked for Chanel, Givenchy, Dior, and Versace. On the runway, she became a cinematic presence, her face unreadable, yet her gaze telling stories of heartbreak and pride. Photographers whispered that Bella could turn silence into spectacle with a single glance. Her image soon extended beyond the runway. Magazine covers followed. Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Elle. When Vogue Paris placed both Bella and Gigi on the cover in 2016, it sent shockwaves through the industry. Together, they became symbols of a new generation of supermodels, heirs to the legacy of the 90-second Supermodels, yet carving their own identities in an unforgiving era. Luxury houses embraced her. Dior Beauty made her the face of its campaigns, casting Bella as the embodiment of modern elegance. Donatella Versace declared Bella, "the strength hidden inside fragility." Riccardo Tisci praised her outright. "Bella has eyes that tell stories, that's what fashion always needs." In her peak years, Bella ranked among the world's highest-paid models. She walked in blockbuster shows, fronted multi-million-dollar campaigns, and collected accolades. Yet her power was never just measured in numbers. It was in the way she turned the runway into an emotional stage. Each step was more than movement. It was storytelling, her body carrying the weight of illness, self-doubt, and triumph. Her recognition culminated in awards like Model of the Year at the 2016 Fashion Awards in London. She also appeared on lists of the most beautiful faces worldwide, though her beauty was not the conventional kind. It was something raw, vulnerable, and unforgettable. By this time, Bella was no longer Gigi's younger sister. She had escaped the shadow, forging her own star power. Her cold beauty, her haunting presence, and her refusal to conform created a new kind of allure. Like the 90-second Supermodels, she became more than just a face. She was a cultural symbol, proof that fashion's greatest icons are those who make you feel. But behind every bright moment lurked reminders of the dark side of fashion, that even at her height, Bella's brilliance was born from scars. And that paradox would be both her crown and her burden. Many models build their careers by fitting the mold, by becoming what the industry wants them to be. Bella Hadid, however, carved her place by being different, by refusing to bend completely to convention. She was never the perfect face by traditional standards, but it was precisely this imperfection that transformed her into an icon. From the start, Bella endured endless comparisons. She was branded Gigi's shadow, dismissed as someone whose success came only through family privilege. The media fed the narrative of the golden sister and the sad sister, forcing Bella into an unfair dichotomy. Yet, rather than trying to mimic Gigi's sunshine, Bella embraced her own storm. She leaned into her cold beauty, her sorrowful eyes, her strong yet vulnerable walk. That contrast became her signature, setting her apart and allowing her to step out of Gigi's shadow. Bella also refused to hide behind silence. While many models stayed neutral to keep their image safe, Bella openly spoke about her battle with Lyme disease. By revealing her struggles with chronic illness, she showed the world that behind the glamour was a fragile human being. This candor turned her into more than a model, it made her a source of inspiration for others suffering in silence. Her boldest moments came through artistic risk. Bella posed for daring editorials, often semi-nude, framed not as scandal but as self-possession. To her, these shoots were declarations. A woman has the right to own her body, to define her sensuality, regardless of public judgment. For Bella, fashion was never just clothing, it was rebellion, it was storytelling, it was survival. Of course, her defiance also attracted criticism. Observers pointed out how her face had changed over the years, fueling relentless speculation about plastic surgery. Though Bella denied altering her features, the whispers lingered. Instead of waging war against tabloids, she chose silence, allowing her work to answer louder than words. "I don't want to be anyone else," she once said. "I just want to be me, even if that makes others uncomfortable." This determination set her apart from countless peers. Bella turned down lucrative deals when they didn't align with her values. She chose authenticity over convenience, even when the price was high. For her, fashion was never about selling her soul for the spotlight, it was about expressing her truth. In that way, Bella joined the lineage of 90-second supermodels, who became cultural figures not just for their beauty, but for their choices. Like them, she stood firm against the machinery of an industry that demanded obedience. And like them, she revealed the dark side of fashion, where judgment, pressure, and double standards attempt to erase individuality. Bella's refusal to conform is what makes her irreplaceable. She is not just another model gracing the catwalk, she is a voice, a symbol of a generation of women who dare to be different, dare to be vulnerable, and dare to be proud of who they are. The spotlight is never eternal. For Bella Hadid, after years of blazing glory, shadows began to creep in, reminding the world and herself that even icons are human. Her career was shaken not only by professional pressures, but also by deeply personal struggles that threatened to end everything she had built. The greatest battle was always Lyme disease. At the very height of her career, Bella fought constant pain, fatigue, and psychological turbulence caused by the illness. On Instagram, she once shared hospital images, her body frail, her eyes vacant, so different from the glamorous woman commanding global runways. Fans were stunned. Could Bella continue modeling, or would she have to abandon her career to fight for her health? Then came the suffocating weight of public scrutiny. Old photographs of Bella as a teenager resurfaced, sparking endless comparisons with her current look. Speculation of plastic surgery spread like wildfire. Though Bella denied the rumors, the whispers became an invisible wound. In rare interviews, she admitted there were days she looked into the mirror and felt she wasn't beautiful enough to leave the house. Her fragility was amplified by her highly publicized love life. Bella's relationship with singer The Weeknd became tabloid fodder. Their on and off romance turned into a media circus, overshadowing her achievements. Reporters chased her with invasive questions about heartbreak rather than her work. One night, she was seen crying backstage after yet another barrage of personal questions, her pain captured not on the runway but in the shadows behind it. By 2022-2023, Bella vanished from major runways. Fans speculated endlessly, but only later did she admit the truth. She had stepped away to focus on treatment for Lyme disease. The silence of her absence was deafening in fashion circles. Social media erupted with support hashtags like #We Love You Bella trended worldwide, as millions of fans sent messages of encouragement. Yet not everyone was kind. Some accused her of exploiting illness for sympathy, doubting her vulnerability. The tabloid press fueled the fire, questioning whether her tears were authentic or staged. Bella did not fight back. Instead, she posted brief, haunting, diary-like notes. "Some days I don't feel like myself anymore, but I still want to believe the light will return." Her disappearance marked the transformation of Bella from a star into a subject of controversy. She was no longer only the cold, elegant figure on the runway. She had become a human mirror of the industry itself, its cruelty, its lack of mercy, its obsession with perfection. Like the legendary 90-second supermodels who also faced burnout, scandal, or retreat, Bella's silence revealed the dark side of fashion in real time, a world where beauty and pain are inseparable, and where survival comes at the highest price. Bella Hadid's downfall was not a collapse, but a revelation. By stepping away, willingly or not, she showed that behind the couture, gowns, and magazine covers lies a soul still searching for healing. And that truth, as raw as it was, became part of her story. Bella Hadid was never the flawless archetype. Her journey was not paved with roses, nor was she the eternally smiling face that magazines often crave. Instead, Bella's legacy lies elsewhere, in authenticity, in fragility, in a beauty carved from pain and perseverance. What made Bella different was her willingness to live publicly with her darkness. From her candid confessions about battling Lyme disease to her acknowledgement of mental health struggles, she turned weakness into strength. In a world that worships perfection, Bella proved that vulnerability could be just as powerful a language of connection. Critics may debate her beauty, they may question her changing face, but no one can deny that she helped redefine the modern supermodel. Alongside the long legacy of the 90-second supermodels, Bella belongs to a generation that brought depth into fashion, not just faces, but stories, scars, and truth. She embodied a reminder that icons are not manufactured in perfection, but in contradiction. The unanswered question lingers: where will her legacy go? Will Bella return, stronger than before, or fade quietly away from the spotlight? Perhaps the answer doesn't matter. For even in her fragility, even in her silence, she has already become a symbol. Bella Hadid's story is more than fashion. It is a mirror of life itself, a reminder that beauty and pain, light and shadow, coexist eternally. And in that paradox lies the true power of fashion, the echo of the dark side of fashion that will forever haunt and inspire those who dare to look closer.